through a few. I went through a few punk bands.
It's good.
Well, at least
you know
we
what?
thought
I'm
we
thinking,
were going to be bands.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking let's try no intro. We just rolling start, like in NASCAR.
Okay.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar with NASCAR?
No.
Do you know what NASCAR
I mean,
is?
Yeah, I know
well,
what
yes,
NASCAR
but
is.
like
I
rolling
just,
start,
I'm not
what?
sure
How
how
does that apply?
translates to what you're asking. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, it would be as if...
Just do it. Just do it.
All right, that's fine.
Just go. I assume that's what you mean.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So when I was young, I was never... Well, I don't want to say I was never. Obviously, up to a certain age, I think we're all terrified of the idea of, like, alien invaders and, monsters under the bed. And, there's a certain age where it's appropriate to be scared of the dark. I had that age like everybody else. I did legitimately think that xenomorphs would come get me out of dark rooms and long hallways and stuff like that. Vega from Street Fighter, I was for some reason afraid was real.
Interesting.
And that I was on his radar.
Yeah,
and that
you
he
would
was
be.
going to come with that claw thing that he had and gut me.
Was he one of the non-humanoid characters?
No, he was
No.
a dude from Spain. He was a cage fighter.
Oh, okay.
And he had like a claw thing
All right.
on his wrist that he'd slash you with.
Very good.
Don't know why I was afraid of that.
Of all the characters in
Yeah,
Street
of all
Fighter,
the, right.
Yeah.
that's the one
Yeah.
that really got to you.
Interesting.
Yeah, I should have been more afraid of like M. Bison, but no.
Yeah.
Or that Balrog was going to come and box me up. This is inside. This is too inside. Nobody played enough Street Fighter to get these jokes.
Right.
But in any
Certainly
case,
not me.
So I had an appropriate period of just like being afraid of the dark and being afraid of monsters or whatever. But the stuff that I had like real existential fear about for years that like sustained basically up until I graduated from high school was, I guess, kind of a complex that maybe like I had gotten from my dad's favorite form of punishment, which was just like hours long lectures about how I was going to grow up to be a failure and like making, and I mean, he had a legitimate point because for a minute there, it probably looked like I was going to grow up to be a failure. I mean, here's the thing, like I never got into like, smoking weed or like drinking underage or whatever, but basically up until I got into ninth grade, I just was a terrible student and I really didn't care that I was a terrible
That's
student.
what you were talking about. Okay. Now we get it.
But it was, it was the kind of thing where I was legitimately learning the stuff, but I just hated doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was a Saturday school student every single time, summer school student every single time, both sessions because I had a lot of F's to make up. But in any case, so like I think he had a legitimate fear that like, oh, my son is just, he's going to grow up to be a burnout. And that was his way of trying to correct my course.
Trying to motivate you by tearing you down.
Yeah.
That always works.
But instead it gave me this complex where I was legitimately afraid that I really was going to grow up and like be too dumb to have a good, vibrant adult life. Like when I would think about getting my driver's license, for years I thought, man, what if I'm just like too stupid to drive? Because, I thought it was really hard. I thought it was like a complex thing that you had to figure out, and that like I wouldn't be smart enough to figure it out, and that I just wouldn't be able to drive because I just grow up and be too dumb to do it.
Were you thinking manual, or were you just
I was going to say
like
make
an automatic?
Well, like of
I
any
can't-
kind, I guess.
Make a stick shift joke in
my
here.
fear wasn't specific enough.
Are we talking four limbs or?
Yeah, well, and here I am now, having proudly driven a stick shift for years.
There you go.
Yeah.
With like not a
Although-
single ticket or accident to
Good.
my name.
I've
Stalls?
been in
Any
the car
stalls?
with you. It's a little rough.
It is not.
Wait, you're saying your current car is a stick?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Why?
because I prefer that to automatics.
I
Such
can't
a
be friends with
boring-
you anymore.
Such a boring life that you live
Lord.
driving an automatic.
No, I
Listen,
drove a
he
stick for a
doesn't
while.
commute.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Yeah.
dude, I've commuted. I don't right now. You're right,
You
but
don't
Right.
commute in traffic.
for
In rush hour.
like 5 years, okay, I
With a
was
stick shift?
commuting. Yeah, I was driving up to
Oh.
Azusa every single day.
Why would you do that to yourself?
for
You
a year
are
and a
a
half,
glutton
and
for
then I was driving to
punishment.
San
Seriously.
Diego like 4 days
Masochist.
out of the week,
In
every
traffic.
week. Yeah, especially on the way home.
That's
But every
that's
week
terrible.
for like 3 years. So yeah, I've got my commuting time. All right, I'm no rookie here.
Starting to think you maybe weren't that smart.
Oh, ha 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 ha. Listen,
That's
stick
just-
shifts are innately more fun. Oh,
No,
this
no,
is
I
not
agree
the
with you.
conversation we
No,
were
no,
even
no,
supposed
but
to
I
have.
agree with you.
Doesn't matter.
I agree with you.
When have we ever
Stick
stuck on
shift is
topic?
more fun, just not if you're a commuter.
No, not if you're sitting in rush hour. It's just
I mean, I
terrible.
can see your point, I guess, but it's
Also,
not that big of a hassle.
By the way, most decent cars come with a manual mode that you can
It's
get
not
your
the
jolly.
same. You
No,
don't
of
use
course
the
it's not
clutch.
the same. But you can get your jollies.
The clutch is half the fun, Nate.
Yeah, I'm talking to the wrong people, so
You are.
I mean,
Anyways,
okay.
And
it
I drove
wasn't-
one. I
it
drove one
wasn't
for a
like
long time. It was
hard-
just-
my first car was a stick shift.
Yeah, mine was
And it
too.
wasn't like a hard transition. I had grown up riding dirt bikes, and
Yeah, same concept.
which I guess I should have known. I'm not going to be too stupid to learn how to drive. I've been riding dirt bikes for years, with moderate success.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
Only a few trips in the emergency room.
Nice.
But yeah, so I had like this legitimate fear that I really was going to grow up to be too dumb, and like wind up flipping burgers just like my dad said I would, and that my life was just going to be awful. And I was going to live at home forever and like never go to college.
See, when I came up with the idea of this episode, I didn't think it was going to be this sad.
Well,
Should I just change my answer to clowns then?
No, it's good. And I'm sure that this will matter to somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And we've heard this
doubles as therapy.
as your friends, but
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, this will be a fun episode.
Well,
and now
I mean, it
we've
is kind of
we've gone deep.
funny.
it's
Like,
funny in a way
no,
because
Like it's a very
It's sad.
comedic idea that there is someone
Right.
out there who thinks like, what if I grow up and I'm like too dumb
Yeah.
to be an adult?
And I'm sure that there are people now that maybe hear this that are going to relate to that.
oh yeah, it's
So what
always
would you-
relatable.
What would you say to that person?
Don't listen to
That you
your
might
dad.
be.
No,
No, oh, come on. I'm kidding. I'm
Uh,
I
sorry.
mean, there is a chance.
Yeah. No, but that. First of all, question the reason why you have that fear.
Mhm,
Do you
mhm.
have that fear because you have failed at something significant? Do you have that fear because it's something someone else put into your head?
right.
Do you have that
Incorrectly.
fear because you are young? Maybe you are a teenager right now and you're looking at the adult world and it just seems really big and scary and you just don't know if you're going to be able to find your way and you're intimidated.
Mhm,
All right?
mhm.
Question that fear because there's probably a 99 point infinite number of 9% chance that it's not a legitimate fear.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's good.
One secret about the adult world. It doesn't really take that much to make
And-
it.
Heyo.
And we don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of going with the flow.
Yeah.
Make it till you make it.
And
The
it's-
world comes at
you know, the standard for what is considered making it is not like you grew up and became a doctor or like a pilot. Those are really cool things, and if you aspire to do those things, do them.
Yeah,
Like
awesome.
if you're sitting there and you're actually afraid, like I was when I was younger, like oh my gosh, what if I grow up and like I really don't amount to anything, or like I don't find a partner and get married and all that stuff, like ball it up and throw it away because you're probably gonna make it. Like you're probably gonna be productive and yeah, you're gonna have to work hard and you're gonna have to study and you're gonna have to face down the intimidation of the big scary adult world, but like you can do it. And you know what'll really help? If you realize that you have innate value
Mm-hmm.
as a child of God. Like start there.
Mm-hmm.
If I had had that when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have been afraid. I probably
I'm
would have been
sure.
like, no, like God made me with infinite potential. And
Mm.
yeah, things are kind of rough right now and like I flunked some classes, but like God's given me the possibility of turning it around, and like he's with me and yeah, this sucks right now, but like he's going to be there when I grow up and he's looking out for me and
Yeah.
and I'm his son and
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Well
it probably
done.
would have helped.
Yeah,
you
well
know?
done bringing it back to that perspective. That's cool.
But yeah, if there is anybody out there who can relate to that, whether it's something you felt in the past or you feel right now, start with that you are a child of the Most High God and you do have limitless potential and your life has value, whether you do flip burgers for the rest of your life or not. Don't let anybody tell you that where you wind up in the greater marketplace dictates the value of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know?
Because it doesn't.
Yeah. God does. and God's declared you to be of enough value that he went to the cross for you. So,
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, that was like my biggest fear when I was young. Like, oh man, what if I grow up and I really do suck?
Oh.
And I mentioned that I was afraid I would grow up and like not get married. That was sort of part of my bigger fear. I had fairly low self-esteem, I guess you would say. I never said that when I was growing up. When you're in it, I guess you can't recognize it. But I had been bullied pretty regularly and like was a huskier set kid pretty much until I graduated, and I just didn't have an easy go of it, especially when it came to forming friendships and relationships with other kids. And so I had this view of myself as like, well, who would ever want to get with this? And really thought like, what if I do go my entire adult life and like I never know what romance feels like? And what if I never do like meet somebody who's willing to fall in love with me and all that stuff? Thank God that didn't happen. Shouts out to Corey, thanks for that. But yeah, at one point that was a part of like my fear complex, was that I was not just gonna suck as an adult, but that I was gonna suck and be alone sucking.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, so sad. But that didn't happen.
But also
Thank
Pennywise, the clown.
Sure,
Yeah.
because why not?
He's made a comeback.
Clowns are terrible.
And
anyway.
public restrooms as a result of
Oh.
seeing it when I was young.
Wait, oh, that's
Is
interesting.
that part of
It must be the original.
your current phobia?
No, what I have is not a phobia. What I have is none of your business.
Yes.
Okay.
we
table
can't.
that
Yeah,
for
we'll table
another
that one.
episode.
Look,
That's
my
right.
comings and goings are nobody's business but my own. So when I get up from the
Oh,
table
right.
and also, how in polite society do people get up and they're just like, oh yeah, that disgusting thing that's so gross that we built an entire room so you can do it in privacy? I'm going to go do that. Like, how is that acceptable?
We have to unpack this.
How can you
That's
not just
another
stand up and say,
time,
hey,
another
I'm going to be
time.
right back?
Yeah. Another time.
When I say I'm going to be right back, you pretty much know where I'm going.
He could be going to make a phone call.
Maybe
Sure.
I am.
Maybe he's going to go smoke a cigarette in the back with the,
Don't do
with the
that.
chef.
But maybe.
Maybe
You know?
he's going
Wow.
to go steal a baby.
Nobody's business but mine.
Would steal a baby? What?
Hey,
know.
it
I'm
happens.
so confused right now.
All right.
Anyway,
Anyways,
we'll talk about that later. It's gonna be a good one.
so Nate,
Yes.
did you have any kind of standoutish childhood fears?
I don't know. I it's not that I can remember much being afraid of many specific things like that. As far as family life goes, mine was pretty good. I had a strange recurring nightmare that involved like something just kind of creepy, supernatural, kind of coming at me from my parents' bedroom, which was across the hall.
From your parents'
Yeah, it
room.
was really weird,
I wonder what that means.
right? Yeah, it's got to be
In the
yeah.
psyche of Nate.
Yeah, let's consult Freud, shall we?
Yeah.
I don't know, and it was recurring enough that I still remember it vaguely. Obviously, the details
When's
would
the last
escape
time
me,
you
but
had it?
oh, not for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's purely in childhood. I think it was last time I remember actually having it.
Okay.
So, and then there was the one time where it turned into almost like not a terror, but like a waking sort of like I was awake enough to feel like it wasn't a dream, but it still was like in a way a dream, and I must have caught the light coming in the door wrong to my bedroom that I shared with my brother at the time. We had bunk beds, and there was something just about the way the light was, and maybe one of the posts, and I literally thought like a guy was standing there about to kill me, right? And I freaked out, and I woke myself up by screaming so loud that I woke myself and of course my brother and the parents. So that was the most memorable one occurrence of any kind of nightmare in general from my childhood, was that one instant. And then of course it never happened again, thank God, but it was pretty scary.
Well,
That's creepy.
Here's the thing about that. There really was a guy there,
Sure, of course. Yeah.
and it was me.
Yeah, obviously.
And it's like the best prank I've ever played on anybody.
You
So I'm
developed
very
time
proud
travel,
to
right?
announce, like 27 years later. Gotcha.
So you invented a time machine. You went back to when I was like 7, and
Yeah.
you're still an adult, and you pulled this prank.
No, I was a child.
Oh, you were a child.
Yeah.
So you
In this
He set
scenario,
up-
I
so
was
he set
a
up
child.
a
yeah,
lamp?
you must have been standing on something
Yeah,
fairly tall.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on a soapbox.
Yeah, no, it's the most
All right.
elaborate prank I've ever played on anybody, and I came up with it when I was like 2.
Good job.
So.
Good job. That's well done. Well done indeed.
Excellent.
That's funny. I think I had lightweight self-esteem issues. Like a lot of us do, but got over them. Grew out of them.
Heavy?
No, I was also a skin and bones, knees and elbows kid.
That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought. Okay.
And a nerd, of course, glasses.
Runs
until
in your family.
yeah, yeah,
I knew his younger brother.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you were referring to his dad.
No, but also yes.
Okay.
That's
He's
fair.
a cool guy. We like Kevin.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, all right, you guys. Now I feel
about you?
Now I feel weird
Don't. Why?
because my answer is weirder.
That's good. Weird is
Sure,
weird is good.
Weird is entertaining.
That's what we're
right?
all about. That's right.
All right. So this is what I had in mind when I was asking because this
Mm.
is what I was thinking about. but,
Sure.
So I also had a reoccurring dream, but mine was very much centered around being abducted by aliens. I used to really, really be into like the Discovery Channel, right? But they also had like those "Are Aliens Real" kind of shows, and
Did you ever watch Unsolved Mysteries?
oh yeah, I watched
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries. I watched
Yeah.
for a while. I did a stint with like X-Files. I was way too young for
Oh,
that.
that'll give you a good alien
Yeah.
abduction complex.
I was really into like the alien movies, Predator, that kind of stuff. But
Oh,
I watched Predator way too young. I might have been like 7
Oh, I
or
see.
8 when that came out, or it was just on TV. And I remember it was my mom and her boyfriend and maybe even some friends from the neighborhood. They were all watching it, and I had like gotten out of bed and I was watching it from like behind the couch. You know, they didn't know I was there.
nice.
And I remember seeing the first scene where like one of the first guys just dies, and I was like,
Oh, is it the part where like the skinned body falls out of the tree?
Yeah, it was just
Oh wow.
gore.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that was too intense for me, and I like ran back to my room.
Yeah.
And then like later, I remember watching. I went to go to like a drive-in movie theater, and they had I was there to watch The Last Action Hero, but my friend's older brother were over at the next screen over. They were watching Jurassic Park when it came out, which was
That's a classic. Love that movie.
Yeah.
93, 97, somewhere in there.
No, it had to,
95?
yeah, it had to be like 93 or
93
something
maybe?
because that was a movie
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I was super into by the time I was like 4.
Yeah.
Or
I think it was
5.
93.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. 93.
Ah, see. And I remember watching that. And even though I couldn't hear it, I remember having nightmares.
Really?
Yeah, because you could just see the dinosaurs.
It
And
seems
obviously
so-
dinosaurs are awesome. but,
Yeah.
like, it was scary.
It seems so tame nowadays.
Oh,
though,
yeah, but to
right?
like a
but to a
8-year-old.
Yeah, you know that
Yeah.
part where
Yeah.
the T-Rex dips his head into the bathroom and
Right.
tears that guy in half. It's
Right.
really low key,
It's
really
low-key,
subtle.
yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
So,
I guess
anyways,
we've been desensitized.
all of that played into the fact that like I really got my imagination going as a kid, and I was really concerned about aliens for whatever reason. And my best friend lived 3 doors down from me, from this one house, and I remember there'd be nights where I'd be like, I'm gonna go over to my friend Gary's house, and I would run out the door, and I kind of pause, look up at the sky, it'd be dark, and I'm like, okay, it's just 3 houses down. If I just run as fast as I can, I'll get over there. And then I would sprint, and the whole way. Have you ever, like, been at home and let's say you just need to turn the lights off and just go to your room, but if you kind of start to panic or run a little bit, it like feeds into the fear, and then you run faster, and it feeds into the fear, and just kind of freak yourself out a little bit. Has that ever happened to you?
I mean, not for a long time,
but has it happened?
but I can remember what that felt like.
Yeah. So that's what it was like every time I was outside at night. Like I would just be like, I got to run from this house to that house or
All right.
whatever.
That's cool.
And I spent a lot of time doing that because, I don't know, I guess no oversight from parental unit.
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
It's a common problem.
and we were just really, we were just really good family friends with this other family, you know, and like we trusted the kids to go back and forth. Anyways,
Yeah, it's-
my reoccurring dream though is that house. And I would come out of that house, but the viewpoint it was like I was seeing everything transpire from the sky. Like I was looking down at the house.
Ooh.
I would see little me come out that front door and take a few steps, and then like the the stereotypical beam of light would shine down on me, and then I would see myself get lifted off the ground, and then I would see my mom come out, and she's screaming hysterical,
Wow.
runs out the door.
This is
She
detailed.
tries to jump and grab me, but I'm just too high for her to reach me, and I wake up.
This is really detailed.
Yeah, no, because it was a reoccurring dream, and not a very long one,
Wow.
but a reoccurring dream that I had at least once or twice a year.
That's crazy.
And I think the last instance that I had it, I was maybe 25, 26.
Wow.
So it went into my adulthood.
Yeah, yeah.
This dream has so much detail. Have you ever considered the possibility that
That
you were
I-
actually abducted by aliens?
Obviously.
Well, it would explain a lot.
That's my line.
I got all these. Never mind.
Yeah, well.
I have all these other memories that I
Yeah.
don't know how they got there.
Yeah, yeah.
Bright lights, strange
Right.
faces.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
That's cool.
it was prevalent enough in my life for a long time that dream kept coming back.
Wow.
And I stopped believing in people actually being abducted by the time I was probably in high school. I think I just got to the point of like, okay, maybe aliens exist, but they're not
Yeah.
doing stupid stuff. Like they're not probing people and turning cows inside out, like
Yeah.
if they were there, that's not how it would be. It'd be more like have you seen that movie Battlefield Los Angeles?
Yeah.
It'd be more like
Super
that.
dumb.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
So it'd be like that. Like they would literally just be like, or War of the Worlds. Like they literally would be like,
Yeah.
we're here to take over
Yeah.
your resources.
You're done.
Or maybe like the movie Contact, where they
Mm.
would they're just trying to communicate.
Right. That would be
I
the
don't think
best
it'd be
case
this
scenario.
weird
Yeah.
physical abuse
Yeah,
that people
yeah.
are just so adamant
Yeah.
of
Especially
how
the
they.
rednecks, right?
Yeah, somehow, some weird way, it's these random, uneducated individuals who are.
You know, it's funny because now that this comes up, I'm actually remembering that kind of like how you saw certain movies way too young.
Uh-huh.
My parents let me watch Fire in the Sky,
Fire in the Sky. I don't
which
think
is
I
a
know
movie
that
about a guy who gets abducted by aliens, but it's done so well
one.
Really?
Yeah.
that like there were certain parts of that movie that would just freak me out because it's not really it is about his abduction, but it's really more about like his life after being abducted
Okay.
and him trying to tell his friends like what happened and nobody believes him.
Like
And he basically
Phenomenon.
has like PTSD
Okay.
from being abducted by aliens.
Also 1993, by the way.
Yeah,
Fire in the Sky.
Mhm.
very good year.
That
as
was
it
a good
turns
year
out,
for
movies.
Semi
Right?
intense, scary movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have a fear of getting abducted, but like the idea of alien abductions became kind of freaky to me.
Yeah.
Question though, like, did you have a similar fear of being abducted by like actual people?
No.
So
I had
that
no
seemed
fear-
out of the realm of
no
possibility.
fear of people. I would
Probably-
be like walking out in creeks and stuff
Yeah.
with my friends, like
Probably
we were
not
little.
exposed to that element of society. at
Just
that
nobody
point. Didn't
talked
know-
to us
didn't know
about it. I guess
know it
we
was a
had no
thing.
reason to
Well,
fear
what
it.
about
Right,
like
exactly.
We were just,
Scruff McGruff or whatever, the crime dog?
dude.
you know,
all I remember
Take a
him
bite out of
talking
crime, don't talk
all-
to strangers.
all I remember him talking about was like breaking and entering, or like or like drugs or something. I don't remember him talking about child abduction, which
Yeah.
probably was a thing. My parents would tell me never get into a van if somebody's trying to offer you candy.
Yeah.
Okay, well
So
that's
at
a
least
good
I had
place
that
to
much
start.
common sense.
Yeah.
Like I knew not to trust adults, but I don't think I really was concerned about. I never thought, oh yeah, I'm a hot, target. Like
Yeah.
I just never thought that. Probably would be very different if like I was a female,
yeah,
but
yeah,
that was
that's
just
true.
not really something I was all
I
that
wonder,
concerned.
I wonder
of.
if Scruff McGruff still has a job.
I don't
wonder if
think
he's still
so.
gainfully employed.
I know that the whole Dare program ended up getting a lot of flack, and
Oh,
and
really?
they kind of, I think with research they decided that actually it did more harm than good.
No, no.
So I kind of have a feeling that he was part of that, wasn't he?
I
Uh,
don't
Or was
know.
that a
I don't
different
know if
thing?
maybe like it was a separate thing, but his whole thing was just, hey, don't do crime.
yeah.
Okay, but I think they
You
I
know.
think they kind of found out that like educating kids on that actually had a reverse effect of making them see kids who did it and got away with it as cooler.
Oh, interesting.
So it kind of
Okay.
it countered It countered what they were really trying to do.
All right. Yeah. All right. I guess I could see that.
Yeah. Plus you didn't want to be like, ooh, dare, like I'm so cool because I'm not doing drugs. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
it just didn't really.
somehow, even in like 4th grade, even though I had no interest in drugs, every
me
time
neither.
Red Ribbon Week came around, I was like,
Not into it.
this is lame.
Right, yeah.
It just felt a little cheesy.
I've
The
never wanted to do
production-
drugs
Yeah,
more than I
it was
do right at
forced.
this moment that you're making me stand out on
Yeah.
this lawn.
Like let's
so that we can take an aerial photo of
let's
us
throw
yeah.
a shirt.
spelling out the words drug free.
Yeah, let's throw a black shirt with red writing onto a guy from Chuck E. Cheese's
Uh-huh.
and try to make that cool for kids. Like
And,
Yeah.
and of course he doesn't do
didn't-
drugs at
maybe- the guy in the suit.
all. Right.
Oh yeah, he had to do weed just to do that job.
Exactly.
Oh.
I feel like
Anyways.
I've seen a McGruff truck emblem, like
Yeah, no, there was
somewhat-
like a bumper sticker.
yeah.
And I think there used to be a sticker that went on your trash cans, like your outside trash
Well,
cans.
and
That was from Dare.
I don't know
and
where I
had
got this
Scruff
idea
McGruff
from,
on
but
it.
I thought
But-
the idea of the McGruff truck was that it was a safe person to go to say, "Oh, I'm in danger" or something.
Dear Mr. McGruff, I did crime.
No, you're in danger.
No,
You're in
no.
danger from
Like
something
somebody's
else.
trying
Oh,
to
okay.
Somebody's trying to
perpetrate
get you.
crime against
Oh,
you.
okay.
I
All right.
thought, I don't know
However-
where I got that idea.
However, if I
Maybe
were a
it's not even
pedophile,
a thing.
I would have that bumper sticker.
Whoa.
That's what I,
Whoa.
that's what I was afraid of. Like, what if it had that?
Just saying.
How did they?
It seems like a useful tool.
right. How did they coordinate or set that up?
Hey,
I don't
children,
know.
I'm safe.
I could be totally wrong.
I
So-
don't have candy. I have safety.
Yeah. So one of the first things I did in radio,
Random
like-
segue. Okay.
yeah, no, well,
It fits.
look, dude, you're the one who started the sentence with "if I was a pedophile." Okay, don't you step to me
Oh,
and
see,
talk
I was-
about awkwardness.
I was right, by the way. But
What?
Go on.
The sticker.
The-
The McGruff truck.
the truck?
The McGruff truck is a utility/municipal truck that children and other people can flag down when they feel threatened or in danger.
Cool. All right.
I don't know. If
Well,
that's still a
we
thing.
needed more of those. I never saw a single one.
I
So
feel like you could have just done that with any strange vehicle. Like, flagged them down. Hey, I'm being chased by this guy.
yeah,
Chances are that person is
or
not in
an
cahoots.
actual cop.
Or I guess a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the
No.
idea
Well,
was the
there
cops
is
were
a
common
significant
enough.
portion of our society that does not feel safe.
Which
by
I guess was actually Scruff
police
McGruff's
officers.
job.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Was to get kids to view the police as like a net positive,
I think
like
so.
and feel safe around them.
I remember
The
police
whole take a
officers
bite out of
coming
crime
into the
thing.
school and letting us see their gun.
Yeah, I remember that.
That part I do remember and being
My
like,
mom-
that's cool, I want a gun.
Actually, just dug through some old stuff and found this like fingerprint card from when the cops used to come to school and fingerprint you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which
So that
they're
you
like,
wound up
isn't
in a
this cool, kids?
database.
And they're like, you're going to be in juvie, we're going to know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
one
So,
of the
yeah.
first things I did in radio was I had to make an ad about adopting animals.
Okay.
And they told us to, use our imaginations and stuff. So I did a whole bit where like Scruff McGruff was going to get put down unless someone came
Really?
and adopted it. Because, and the joke was that like he hadn't had a job since like 1995 and that Scruff McGruff became a criminal.
I see.
Like he
That's
was
kinda-
living on the streets and became a criminal and now he needs someone to give him a good home. So come down to the animal shelter
That's a good.
and adopt Scruff McGruff before
That's so weird.
It's a
he
decent.
gets
That's
the
so
lethal
wrong.
injection.
It is.
And then that actually became like a series of ads that I did
Yeah.
where I would use popular animals to come and like encourage you to come.
Like-
Like Godzilla was one of them. Like,
Whoa.
Nice.
hey, we have such a variety of animals. You can come adopt this giant terror-inspiring lizard
Cool.
who once toppled
Sign me
Tokyo.
up. Yeah.
Like that was the joke.
Good.
But
know?
will he do it again?
Yeah.
Not if he has the right home.
Right.
Oh,
See,
okay.
not if the right
Aw,
owner
that's
comes
neat.
along and just genuinely
But what if
loves
I
him.
want him
That's cute.
to topple Tokyo?
Well, then I guess you could.
Okay. I'm in.
And you could saddle up and ride him while he does it.
I got
and be like,
$10.
"Yeehaw!"
I got
See that
$10.
being a decent
Yeah.
radio bit. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, radio used to be fun for
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
Well, I hope this is fun for you.
yeah,
This
It's
is
not
like
radio, but
No.
it's
it's close
radio.
enough.
It's radio.
It's
Close.
what came after radio. This is
Sure.
what
That's all right.
is now
I
replacing.
mean, radio still exists.
No, I know. It'll probably always exist in some form.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it's so awful. It's
Dude, it can
just
be
full
like
of, every 5 seconds is an ad.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
I exaggerated. Every
that's
5 minutes?
normal.
Depends on the radio you listen to.
Yeah,
If
it
you
does.
listen to any AM radio, you can get some
Correct.
decent news. But
I like
but-
AM radio, but I don't know. I will say, like, at the end of my career in FM radio in 2014, I did hate almost everything I heard.
Chuck Wagon.
Well, yeah, but like the station I was working at, 93.7 KCLB, out in Palm Springs, which was like a classic rock station, had this morning show called Free Beer and Hot Wings, and nobody connected to that show will ever hear this, but if you do, your show sucks.
Nice.
And Free Beer and Hot Wings are not funny,
Nice.
no matter how hard they try.
Really?
And I mean that's
So
always
they were
the
just like a
impression
morning
I got.
talk show.
Yeah, and they were like widely syndicated somehow.
So weird.
I don't know
name.
how they conned all these radio stations into carrying their show, but they sounded like two guys on the edge of the baby boom generation trying really hard to be funny to millennials.
Oh, I
Like,
see. Okay.
And I guess that's what they sounded like because that's exactly what they were.
Right.
And
So what do we sound like?
well, according to the reviews that we've gotten
Yeah.
through producer Nate showing the show to his friends because no one else listens to it except for Georgina.
I know.
All of our reviews have been awesome.
Right. Yeah,
This is a 5-star show.
That's right.
With 5-star listeners.
Yes.
That's true. We do
All
have
5 of them.
We have the best listener base.
do.
That's
we
right.
do. You guys are amazing.
You're
love
a
it.
small
I love
but mighty
each and
force.
every one of you.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Never go anywhere.
That's right.
You're beautiful in every way.
Hmm.
If this show got syndicated,
Nothing compares to you.
we'd easily wipe the floor with Free Beer and Hot Wings.
Yeah.
I would.
I'm
Yeah.
down.
Can
Yeah,
we?
I've-
Now I just want beer and hot wings. Can
Well,
we get a
you
plate
guys
of
were
hot wings
fasting.
in here? Oh,
Somebody is fasting.
you were supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, I am doing
Yeah.
that.
Well, you kind of broke that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no,
I forgot about that.
soda
Yeah.
doesn't count, does it?
Oh yeah, anything with sugar.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're gonna be strict about it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'll amend it from. What time is it now? Okay, from instead of 7 to 7,
Oh,
it'll be 10 to 10.
okay.
There you go.
That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
no,
have,
you
I'll
can't
have to
have dinner
join you in
tomorrow.
a 10-hour fast.
That's fine.
I can. That's
I
about all
completely
can do.
forgot you were doing it, and I honestly didn't really have an intention of joining you, but I'll give you a good 5 hours.
Okay.
Wow. That's,
Yeah. The time that you're sleeping.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
At least I went a little beyond that. I never asked you this because you were in radio, but did you ever hear of the speaking of morning shows, the Dave Shelley and Chainsaw Show?
Oh yeah, I did.
DSC?
No.
No. Oh,
They were
okay.
pretty good.
They were good.
Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw.
They were before your radio
Before
career.
your time, yeah. Well, originally, but they went on for a number of years. They just got. they
I knew
just
Stu
got-
Tiffany and Jimbo
No.
because I worked with them.
Did you know the Mikey Show?
I knew the Mikey Show. Hated it.
Oh, that was
But
the
I
only
knew
one
it.
I liked.
Yeah.
Well, which Mikey Show? There's been several Mikey
There's-
shows.
yeah,
Which one are you
exactly.
talking about?
The one at
The one on 103.3?
105.3.
Okay, yeah.
Out of
that's the
San
one
Diego.
I hated.
That's the one I loved.
I
Yeah.
also hated the show,
The
which was
DSC San Diego
105.3's
based, too.
morning show.
Oh, okay.
They're on 103.3 now.
The
Oh.
show.
Yeah, they're on
Oh.
both.
Oh, well, they're both clear
That's because
channels.
103.3 is just Temecula's mimic.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Well,
they're-
103.3 is
Another
Temecula's
station.
clear channel station.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which 105.3 is also clear channel. So
Anyways.
that makes sense. But
I listen
no,
to
the
them
show
because-
also sucks.
Yeah, it's,
Most of them did.
I hated that they changed to this format where they actually play music at this. Like, the show will be okay. We're gonna play some songs, and
Oh,
we'll talk
yeah.
about something, and then blah blah blah.
No,
And I really don't like how he goes into sports dirt almost every time at the same hour
Yeah.
because that's when I'm listening, and I'm just not that interested in
I
sports
mean, it's like
dirt.
5 people,
well,
Yeah.
that's a
and
little
none
too
of them
many.
have anything interesting to say.
The
Yeah.
Mikey Show was better because they actually did bits. They do like prank calls. They do like.
Yeah, that's why I love the
Yes.
DSC. Right? They had
Yeah.
the bits and they had specific
But the
things they did. and
the show they
personalities.
just talk about.
You
like,
know who?
this is what's coming out on Netflix
Yeah,
this
we don't
week.
care.
You know
about
who
that.
had a surprisingly good morning show?
Mm.
Ryan Seacrest.
Really
Yeah.
surprising to
the-
hear you say that.
Where
also,
he did
but-
like actually just talking, or was it
I
like
mean,
the
like
interview.
obviously
the
the
top 10
man is like
songs, or-
made of pure charisma. So
Sure.
when he
Yeah.
just sat
Of
and
course.
talked about stuff, it was interesting. But no,
interviews.
the way he interviewed was
Yeah.
great. The way he paced his show was great.
Yeah.
He had a bit he would do. And by the way, every like prank call or setup call that you've heard since like 1995
Scripted.
has been fake.
Of course, yeah.
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 But yeah,
How
sorry.
dare you.
By the way,
How dare
yeah.
you?
You
out.
have to know that when you go into it.
I
But
believe
he would do this
everything.
bit called Ryan's Roses that even though it was fake, it was done so well.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was that like he had this, producer who was going to pose as somebody from a flower shop, right? Who calls a guy and says like, "Oh, you won a free arrangement of flowers.
They did that on
Who
the
do you
Mikey
want
show.
him to go to?" Okay, well then Mikey stole that from Ryan
Did Mikey
Seacrest,
steal that?
who, by the way, stole it, I think, from Dick Clark.
Yeah.
So this is actually a
Oh.
very old
Nothing
thing.
is original.
But
Oh man.
yeah, so they'd call and ask the guy like, "Who do you want the flowers to go to?" And if he picked someone other than his wife, that was like, "Haha, we caught you cheating,
Oh, yeah, I remember
sucker!
that.
This is Ryan Seacrest."
Yeah.
And did they have the wife like secretly
Yeah.
on mute
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah.
And she heard the whole thing, and
Yeah.
then she would
I
be
feel like-
unmuted, and she'd be like, "You son of
I feel like a lot
Yeah.
more than just one DJ picked that up. I feel like that was.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was an old thing that
around.
Dick Clark used to do,
Yeah.
and then Ryan Seacrest, I think, assumed Dick Clark's show,
Well,
so
he
like
did,
it was
yeah.
kind of a natural handoff
Yeah.
to him.
That
I'm
makes
so
sense.
sad right now.
Anybody else out there doing it is just guilty of highway
I
robbery.
Yeah,
feel like
but-
you just robbed me of part of my
Now,
youth
okay, so
listening to the Mikey.
that's interesting. Going a step further, so Rex, you said you listened to DSC. Do you remember? And it was before our time, but do you remember they would still talk about it in retrospect? The biggest prank they ever pulled was convincing a bunch of people down in San Diego that the space shuttle was going to land there, and then of course it didn't. But it was a big. It was like the biggest thing.
I
they
don't
ever did.
remember
No?
that.
Okay.
No. See, I remember them because my mom would listen to them, but I was
Okay.
so young I
Too
wasn't
young to-
really
yeah, yeah.
paying attention.
Yeah.
My family was really into Howard Stern.
But what you just
So-
were talking about got me wondering if that was faked too.
Oh,
I mean, if it was back
been.
in like
You know
when
what I
we
mean?
were kids,
It was the 80s
a lot of that
or
stuff
the
was
90s?
then a lot of that stuff was probably still real.
Yeah.
the
Probably.
War of the Worlds. Do you remember? Do you guys
Of
know
course.
about
Yeah.
how that
Yeah, the radio broadcast.
How
Yeah,
that
that was
freaked
also
people
fake.
out?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
so you know.
that was faked? Like the people being
No,
freaked out?
aliens
No.
didn't really invade Earth.
No,
It's
yes.
so bad. But the fact that it freaked so many people out.
But no, yeah,
that was
I
You
mean-
mean Tom
No, it was
Cruise
real.
didn't?
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
No, but yeah, the
Right.
the panic from that,
It
like
was
that
real,
that
yeah.
story is real.
I know.
I don't know
Okay.
if people actually killed themselves, but like there was real
Yeah,
public panic.
there was. Yeah.
And there was a
Yeah.
belief that like
Yeah.
at least
All
after
right.
the first episode,
Because
because
radio had such power back
Man,
then.
we
It
are
was the only.
so off topic.
yeah,
thing
we
that-
are. Well, so my fear when I was growing up was that I would someday be stuck on a bad radio show and that I'd really suck at it, and that one came true. So, and I'm not talking about this show.
Okay,
I'm talking about
okay.
the radio career I had.
Yeah.
Clearly,
because I was like hot for a minute, and then I failed at everything else I tried to do. So,
Mm.
and I eventually got run out of the business.
Well,
So-
yeah, but that was not entirely your fault. I feel like radio also became
no,
That's-
yeah, I mean, my last job
bad.
was not a firing; it was a
No.
layoff because our stations got bought out by another company, and as
Yep.
usually happens, they
Big
say, "Well,
corporate.
we're going to bring in our own people,"
Yep.
and
hmm
you know. So, in any case,
Yeah.
so now we're back on track. 'Cause I was
Thanks.
afraid of that happening, and then it happened. So.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautifully done.
But yeah, no, the War of the Worlds thing, like, kind of the legend goes that like these episodes, because it was several episodes, it wasn't just one.
Right. Yeah. It's
but
like a
that, like,
Sunday
Oh man, like
thing.
every time it played, it caused this big panic. But no, like it did the first time, and then after that, it became very clear that it was a show.
Right.
Right.
Um,
Well, yeah, because like, could you imagine if you just tuned in like halfway through,
yeah,
and he's telling it as if this is a current news event?
Yeah.
you would be like, why is what?
pretty sure it was
I kinda-
Orson Welles who put that together,
Yes.
who became like one of the most legendary actors of all time.
Really?
Yeah,
As
and directors.
what was he in?
Citizen
that-
Kane?
Oh,
That's Orson
I don't think I've
Welles,
ever
I'm
seen
pretty
any
sure.
movie he acted in.
Yeah, I couldn't name.
I
it.
didn't
and
even
then
know
a-
he acted.
Yeah,
I
dude,
just thought he was a writer.
amazing.
Yeah.
God, I hope I'm thinking of the right guy.
He might not be.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Orson Welles. Yeah. He ended up being in a movie called The Third Man, which was at the time like a legendary picture. You know, it's from the black and white era.
He's considered one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. Does not say the greatest actors. Of all
Okay,
time.
then look up who's in
But he
Citizen
is.
Kane.
No, I mean I believe you. I just
No,
haven't got
because
that far.
no, I
Now
know
we
you
need to know.
believe me, but I don't want to mislead our huge audience here.
Oh, he was American.
Citizen Kane. Hello, is correct.
I
So that's
thought-
Orson Welles.
It is loading the Google page. Sorry, but it was the first result, so I'm assuming.
Well, he
Yeah.
could have been the director.
Look who slam dunked
Oh.
this one.
Hold on.
No, I'm pretty
You
sure
don't
he
know yet.
stars in it.
You don't know yet.
Hold
Hold
on.
No, I know.
Here we go.
Doesn't say he's.
OMG.
Anyways, I thought he was British
No.
because that whole
Of course
thing
he's
was
American. Dude, we're
uh,
the best at everything.
okay.
I mean, we were the best at radio. We were the best at
Sure.
filmmaking.
Hey, so one of these days, tell me if this is a dumb idea. I know we're gonna have an episode where we're talking about making a movie,
Yeah.
like how we would make one.
Yeah, by the way, stay tuned for the special RARC Writes a Movie.
That's gonna be
That's
a great
going to be
episode.
like a multi-parter, I think.
I don't know. It's gonna be a long one or two-parter maybe.
For sure.
I think we should do the Orson Welles, and literally try to narrate a scene,
Yeah.
or even like a
Do like a dramatic reading.
dramatic. Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll do a table read. And we'll write a couple
Sure.
female parts so we have an excuse to get our wives in here.
There we go.
I
And
mean,
like
I
it.
could just use a voice like this.
Don't do that.
No.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, no, that's going to be in the pipe for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Let's do that.
Yeah, Citizen Kane starred Orson Welles, and he was
Wow,
he was the
look
director.
who
I wanted-
slam
He was like-
dunked it.
he was
I
the
wanted you to
everything.
be
He was the
wrong.
director,
Yes,
producer,
he
star,
was.
everything.
Look who
Yeah,
slam
yes.
dunked it. Wow.
I wanted you to
Orson
be wrong
Welles.
so bad. I
You
like
what?
it when you're wrong.
Oh, yeah, well,
I
that's
don't
not
know
very
why.
often, but for a minute there I was afraid I was, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
Orson Welles is like a legend.
Yeah, I mean, he died in '85, so he's a legend before our time, but he's
Yeah.
legendary. Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, watch The Third Man. It's awesome.
Okay.
It's
I'm not
like
into old movies.
All right. So if
Not
you're
into
afraid of
old
things, write into us. Tell us
Yeah.
what your childhood
fear,
fears
right?
were.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what we were talking about, right?
And maybe you were one of those people that fell prey to the Orson Welles War of the Worlds.
Yeah, maybe
radiocast.
you're 105
Was it that long
listening
ago?
to this show.
Was it that
Quite
long ago?
It was quite long
You could have been 10.
ago.
I don't know. Anyways, if you fell prey to something or you just had fears when you were a kid, if you think it was interesting, email us, contact us.
Yeah.
Contact at rarcpodcast.com.
Bingo.
And let us know, because that would be really fun to share some other people's fears, childhood fears specifically. But you
Yeah.
know what? If you're an adult and you are genuinely afraid of something, I'd be interested in hearing about that too.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? If it's clowns, nothing wrong with that.
If it's
They're
you know what?
freaking
I do
scary
not
anyway.
like going to circuses, and I don't like anybody who's dressed up like in a suit, like what's his name, Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh yeah.
Like he freaked me out.
Interesting.
Like I didn't like anybody dressed up.
Big kid.
Uh,
What about Disneyland? The characters there.
That's no way.
That's not okay with you?
I walked.
Really?
I avoided those people.
Huh.
Luckily, my daughter is not the same way. But
Okay,
me,
good.
I was.
If Chuck E. Cheese
couldn't
got
go
in a
around.
fight with Mickey Mouse, who'd win?
Oh, Chuck E. Cheese, man.
He's from
like
the
a
streets.
street
That's
rat.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would totally.
Wow, that was
So yeah.
times.
Mickey Mouse has lived this nice privileged life in his castle with Minnie. Chuck E. Cheese is raw. He's
Yeah.
gonna get you.
Yeah. You know that was that meme or whatever, that video of that rat in New York that had like a piece of pizza.
Oh no.
That was Chuck E. Cheese.
Someone found him.
That's
Oh yeah,
good.
that was the real life.
I'll have
Chuck
to
E.
look
Cheese.
that up.
You
Yeah.
don't want to mess with a New York rat.
I guess that's
Yeah.
my adult fear, is that I'm somehow gonna wind up stuck in New York City.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Ugh.
I don't
Wow.
like downtown cities, and I also don't like being out in the middle of nowhere. I kind of like where we're
Suburbia.
at.
Dude, the
It's
suburbs
kinda
are
the-
awesome.
Suburbs
Yeah.
are
Suburbs
awesome.
are the best.
We've got
Someday-
high-speed internet, but we don't have to deal with the smell of cow dung.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually.
Someday
Or the smell.
we're just gonna have to do a show about how awesome the suburbs are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll call it the suburbs.
Send your hate mail to contact at RARC podcast.
I love living in a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Sure you
no.
do.
New York sucks. Temecula's where it's at.
Traffic is the best.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I love.
Live somewhere where you
Overpaying
can
for
realistically own
transportation.
a car.
Right.
But bike riding is so good for
And where you didn't buy your apartment.
Yeah.
I own this
converted
thing, but I
apartment.
don't own the land that's under it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Anyway, yeah.
Wrapping it up.
This is done.
Yeah, we're way past done. Good night.